One of these theories, now it's, the name of it sounds wild. It's like extraterrestrial life, or essentially the life came in off a meteorite or something like that hit the Earth. And let's say that chemical evolution of life happened somewhere else that we can't see. And then the life pops up there. Have you heard of that one, of the issues with that theory?
Yeah, it's quite an old one. In the beginning, there was ET. It actually goes back to the discoverers of the structure of DNA, who recognized the vast complexity in living organisms and said it is so vanishingly improbable, it's impossible for it to have occurred on Earth. Therefore, it must have occurred somewhere else. Now, to give it some scientific respectability, they call it panspermia. So life came from outer space. But all that is doing is transferring the problem that they have on Earth to somewhere else in the universe. And they're appealing to time and chance on billions of worlds.
Right. So time and chance, I have heard some people when they see something that's like impossible, and they go, but it must have happened. And they just go, oh, well, there must have been infinite time, or not infinite, but close, a long, long time. And all of a sudden you do the maths and they go, oh, now it's a certainty rather than something that's impossible. Is that sort of what they're trying to appeal to? Does that even work?
Yeah, I'll split that into two. We'll deal with the chance part, and then we'll deal with the time part.
Sounds good.
So the chance part, you can actually determine. Chance sounds like you're random and rolling a dice, but it's actually a lot of science in the probability, and it's called chemical thermodynamics or statistical mechanics. So you can talk about the probability of two amino acids combining in water to form a dipeptide, and 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. And you can calculate the probability of spontaneously forming just a simple polypeptide. And we also know roughly how many atoms in the universe. I'll give you a big number. It's 1 followed by about 80 zeros. Now, the chances of forming just a simple peptide is less than the chance of you picking out the one unique atom that I've marked with an X out of the 1 followed by 80 zeros atoms in the universe. That's how small it is. And that's one peptide. You need hundreds of them. And you need the polysaccharides, and you need the ribosomes, and you need the RNA, and then you need the DNA, and you need the cell walls and the cell wall design for ion transport. You need all of this. So you can get to probabilities where some statistical mathematicians actually define impossible as less than 1 in 1 followed by 80, or some say 100 zeros. So from a chance perspective, I call that, and many people call that, impossible.
Yeah, but now the second point, because some people are saying, yeah, but what if we have a lot of time? Can't we kind of bring that uncertainty number down if we have lots of time for it to occur?
I love this question when I get it, and I get a little bit cheeky, so forgive me here. Time is an enemy. The train's going in the wrong direction. I can give you a bucket full of DNA or RNA of living chemicals, of chemicals derived from living organisms. I can give you this bucket full, and I can leave it there as long as you want. It is not going to turn into life. The train's going the wrong way. It's actually going to get less complex. It's going to decompose. I don't mean biologically decompose, because we've got no life there. I mean it will chemically decompose. There are hydrolysis reactions. There are cross-coupling reactions. There are all this chemistry that goes there that's driving the train the wrong way.
Well, thanks for summarising that. Now, you mentioned a documentary, I think it was right at the start. You mentioned evolution's Achilles heels, and we actually have it here on the table. Can you talk a little bit about this documentary and what people will learn from it?
Yeah, so evolution's Achilles heel is a great summary of a bunch of the key aspects about how life came about, how life evolved, how ethics and morality evolved. There are 8 chapters in there. Chapter 3 is my favourite as a chemist scientist. It's about the origin of life, the origin of the first life, written by a brilliant scientist, Dr. Jonathan Sarfati. But there are many other chapters in there on DNA, on genetics, etc., etc. So you can read the book, watch the DVD. I think it's available as a download as well. That has got a wealth of information. The Creation Ministries website, it's got a great search engine in there. Type in your question. What about life from other planets? What about DNA? Couldn't that arise by chance? What happened to the dinosaurs, etc.? Do real scientists really believe in this sort of thing? You can ask any question you want, you'll find answers.
Excellent. We've got a lot of resources available for people, and I found that documentary very helpful for myself too. And if they want to watch the Evolution's Achilles Heels documentary, we'll actually put a link in the description below, and people can click on that and they can watch the documentary for free. Thanks so much for joining me today, Stephen.
Thank you, Michael.